Hey guys, how's it going? So this isn't going to be a normal thing per se. I don't normally do videos like this on this channel, but I did want to talk about it a little bit because it seems people don't quite understand what may be going on or how things are going. With Wintersun, that is, in regards. Now, sorry if you guys hear a little bit of cooing. Little baby's down there, so in her seat, sleeping, so she makes noise. I don't know that you all can hear it through the mic, but yeah, we'll try and get through here pretty quickly. So, Wintersun, just to let you guys know, there is a big album update, okay? Time 2 is 90% done. Album 1, 60%. Album 2, 60%. Album 3, 60%. Album 4 is 20%, okay? They're currently working on Album 1. Now, all that being said, okay? A long time ago, 5 years ago, in 2017, Wintersun released, I believe it was March, spring break I think it was, March, sometime between March and May of 2017, Wintersun did a crowdfunding. Well, it was before that, but they released the product of their crowdfunding. I heavily supported this. I heavily got involved with this because all it was doing was purchasing a digital version of the Forest Seasons. What this did was it allowed them to get direct funds, so Yari could put it towards a studio, more or less. The studio had some controversy because it had a sauna. Now, apparently a sauna in Finland, apparently a sauna in Finland is as common as a bathroom anywhere else, a toilet anywhere else. Okay, they apparently need them there for, and I didn't look too much into it. When he gave the explanation, I was like, okay. I looked into it a little bit and was like, oh yeah, just about every household has a sauna. A lot of people didn't understand that because most of the people are not from that part of the world. The reason why is because it's very cold, not humid at all, dry. It gets very dry. They need the humidity in order to not have their skin cracking and stuff, I guess. Things along like that. So I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Saunas are not particularly expensive, especially out of the whole thing, so I was like, didn't really care. Now, if he was putting in a hot tub and a bar and multiple bedrooms and all this other stuff to where I was like, okay, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I would have probably questioned it, but regardless, they were selling a product, and what he decides to do with that money, he can do, right? But the problem is simply this. If you're going to promise to do something with those funds, though, you can do whatever you want with it, but don't make promises. Say, hey, this is just going to the band. This is going to fund future band projects, right? Don't say you're going to build a studio and then 5 years later still have nothing to show for it. Now, maybe there are things in the plans. Maybe there are things that are out there, but I think for 5 years we've been in the dark. They've been doing podcasts, stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of the podcasts. I've kind of tuned out because I kind of don't care too much about all that at this point because it's some behind the scenes stuff. It's pretty cool, but it got a little redundant in my opinion. There are a lot of people who enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't as interesting to me at a certain point. Now the guitar lesson stuff was actually really cool with him and Asim. Of course, we can see that Asim left the band. They parted ways with their second guitarist, Asim, who has been with us. And we shared good times on and off stage, but we didn't see eye to eye on some things and weren't happy with everything behind the scenes. That tells me, little baby's getting upset there. That tells me, though, honestly, that Asim wasn't happy probably, and I'm not going to assume, I'm just giving a guess. I don't know. I could be very, very wrong. So please do not sit there and take this as gospel. I'm guessing that either he was upset about albums not coming out, or maybe, I don't think it was creative because they said they didn't see eye to eye behind the scenes. So it could have been maybe he wasn't getting enough creative input, but I don't know. It's interesting to me, though, because it's been 5 years of essentially silence on any kind of update. And then after this, after he leaves the band, May 4th, 8 hours ago, what is today, the 10th? 11th. Right after, they end up coming out with an update, which is what everybody's been wanting. But as you can see, it's still a little bit disappointing. If 60% on all of these, and 90% is what it takes from Time 2, which came out before 2017. I can't remember the year. Was it 2012? I think it was 2012. It's a little disappointing to see that this is the progress. Time 2, I don't know if it was 90% done before that. I mean, it's pretty much been done. He's just been... The reason why he needed the studio was to be able to properly make Time 2 sound the way he wanted to. That was the whole point. And instead, 5 years later, there's no studio that we know of. And these albums are getting there, which I hope they do crowdfundings to be able to build the studio and all, but I don't know. I don't know what else happened. Maybe it was more expensive than they thought, but there hasn't been much updates, and there's been a lot of anger with this. So they've completed 200%, 2 whole albums worth of work of other albums instead of finishing the last 10% of the one people have been waiting for on years. Now see, I just care about music coming out. I don't care if it's specifically Time 2 or anything. I think this is a little silly of a comment, in my opinion, but he's got his grievances, and I think a lot of these grievances wouldn't be there if they kept coming out with albums. Now, if people are like, no, we want this specific album, I think that would be a little silly, in my opinion, you know? Oh, uh-oh. Here, let me pick up this girl real quick. Hey, girly. Oh. Sorry about the dead silence there. Actually, she just wanted her little passy, I think, but she keeps dropping it. She's not old enough to understand anything. So she's only 2 months old. Not her fault, by any means. You know, I think at this point, he's just worried that it's not as good as he thinks and that people will be disappointed and cancel their Patreons or support. I don't know if that's the case, though, because he did this, like, he wasn't happy with Time 1's release. I understand that, but I thought Time 1 released very well. I understand some of the portions of the music being mixed to where you couldn't hear it, because you couldn't hear that Temu solo at all, and which is one of my favorite things to play, actually. And now in the remix version, you can hear it pretty decently well. If you did the pre-order for the 4 seasons, you got the tracks and all that, and you got a remastered version of their original release and a remastered version of Time 1, which is, the remaster sounds great. So, I don't know. I think he is a little self-conscious. Why one of the greatest guitarists in the world is that self-conscious, though? I don't know. To me, it's funny because I can confidently say, yeah, he's probably the best, if not one of the absolute greatest guitarists out there, Yari. And he should understand that, I would think. I mean, I know he's not going to hold himself to that candle, right? But, man, is he insane. Like, he's literally the guitarist that I look to when I'm like, how could I make a solo sound really cool? Well, I go and look at him, you know? And the same is with Temu. Just insanely talented guitarists. Insanely talented. But I don't think they realize at this point, because I've been defending them a lot. And I've had to step back and be like, hey, am I defending them because I'm a super huge Major fan? And the answer to some of that actually may be yes. So, all in all, I had to step back and kind of unbias myself and be like, yeah, 5 years is a long time to go without updates and stuff. 5 years is a long time to go without studio updates for what we were crowdfunding. And like I said, you can do whatever you want with the money, but you have to do what you say you're going to do with the money. You know what I mean? In the end. Or at least let people know, hey, we weren't able to do this with the money because of this. Just be transparent. I know they're not shy of being transparent. It's just, I don't think they've realized how much time has truly gone by. They're making progress every day. And I want, if they do see this video, I want them to understand this part very specifically here. They see progress every day. Okay? And it makes them excited. They're like, oh, the fans are going to be so excited about this, you know? This is cool. Not really putting into perspective, I don't think, that their fans are not seeing that progress at all. This is why this post actually was genuinely a great post. I don't know if they understand the value of this right here, even though it may be disappointing to see that not as much is done in 5 years as we thought. Now, to them, of course, they're going to be like, what are you talking about? We got 4 albums and a 5th album just about completely done. When he said 4 albums, I actually thought he was including Time 2, so I'm surprised that there's actually 5 albums, not 4. But, you know, of course, there's a lot of progress to them. But to the fans, it's still no music being released is still no music being released. And they are not putting themselves in the position of the fan currently. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're very capable of doing that, and I think once they sit there and do that, they'll be like, yeah, that makes a little sense. I think out of nowhere, we're going to see the 60% skyrocket. If I was a betting man, I bet this 60% sometime next year is going to be 99%. Because I don't think they would have given an update unless they were close to a release. Now, I could be wrong. But I don't think I am. And here's why. In the history of them giving updates, there's only one time that they've ever given an update where an album didn't come out pretty quickly. Okay? And publicly anyway, like a big announcement like this. They don't do this very often. So I think we're going to see that 60% go up to 99% in about 6 months to a year, and a release date being announced. Oh. Sneezy. Now, that's just my guess. And I could be wrong on many things. I'm thinking... I would really like to talk to either Yari, Timu, Yuka, or Asim, or anybody, really. I don't know if Kai is super involved with this or not. I have no idea. But I would love to talk to one of them and get some perspectives. I don't think anybody's willing to come out and say anything at this point as to what happened with the Sim, and that's fine. It's not really anybody's business. But if they are, you know, I'm open. I'm not here to throw shade on anybody at all or be upset. But I do want people to understand why, or at least I want Wintersun to understand why their fans are upset. And I do want the fans to understand certain things that they throw out there are a little silly. Like, there are comments that are talking about the sauna still, not understanding what the sauna is. Well, let's see. We'll always love the original self-titled album. It was and remains truly unique and beautiful work. However, this level of obfuscation, okay, interesting word, after nearly 20 years is sad and comedic. A parody of what Yari and the band purported themselves to be. Well, at first it was only purported to be a side project. You know what I mean? When he was within Sephirum, this was a side project. He went full-time with it, but it's pretty tough. Oh, jeez, get up. He gets so mad. The pacifier's like 2 centimeters from her face. I'm pretty sure Tool will release another album before any of these come out. Well, in all fairness, Wintersun's released more albums in the time between Tool releasing albums, you know, but I don't really care much about Tool. What do you need to finish Time 2? I mean, what represents that 10% specifically? Is it mastering, editing, an unfinished song, or what? You should focus on that and leave the other albums for later. Work one step at a time. Now, I kind of agree with what he's saying as work one step at a time. But, as we know, Time 2, people really should pay attention to this. I highly doubt Time 2's coming out until the studio's done. I would like a studio update, though. I really would. Because I want to hear Time 2. Silver Leaves is apparently the absolute most beautiful song he's ever written. And I would like to know what that song is like. Honestly, it's got me hyped. The dangerous thing about it is I hope that they're not overhyping it and leaving it out for this many years. I mean, it has been 10 years, I think. Yeah, it's been 10 years as of right now since Time 1 has come out. It's a long time. It's a really long time. I'm hoping there weren't a whole lot of people out there that have passed away waiting for all this stuff. You know what I mean? But, oh, jeez. Don't want it out. Don't spit it out. Like, girl, she smiles whenever I put it back in. Okay, well, I think she's testing me. Anyway, that's all I have to really say about this, guys. I've been a fan ever since I was 13 years old, and I've been waiting for Time since, is it 2005 2005, I think I've been waiting for Time. 2005, I think. Don't quote me, but I think I've been waiting for Time since 2005, and I got half of it in 2012, and I was very happy. 4 seasons. I'm so happy with that album. Not a lot of people are, but I love it. I can't wait to see what's next, but I just really hope that there's a little more transparency and more of this going on. This is good. I want to praise them for this. This is good. I hope to see more. Love their work. Love everything about Wintersun. I think they do need to refocus and try to understand from the point of view of their fans at this point. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.